A Florida lawmaker has been arrested in Tallahassee for driving under the influence of alcohol. Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Montanaro.
And I'm Andy Alcock. State Representative Dane Eagle was arrested early Monday morning on West Tennessee Street and later released from jail on $500 bond. First at 6, Eagle spoke today about that arrest. A counterfeit money printing operation has been uncovered in Franklin County. The find comes after the Franklin County Sheriff's Office started an investigation into the increase of counterfeit money in the area. Detectives seized printing equipment, software, ink, as well as over $1,400 in fake bills. Deputies say multiple arrests will likely be made as an outcome of the investigation. If you believe you've been a victim of counterfeiting, call the Franklin County Sheriff's Office at 850-670-8500, the number on your screen.
A driver is rescued after her car submerged in floodwaters.
The rescue comes after extreme flooding in the area, especially on dirt and gravel roads. Eyewitness News reporter Joe Hellriegel tells us about this rescue. 8 more names were added to the wall honoring the firefighters in Florida who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Mike McCall joins us now. And Mike, we're on a bit of a roll. First 2 days of the work week, beautiful.
Right, too bad we couldn't back it up a little bit for Easter weekend.
Headed toward the mid, even upper 80s are possible by the time we get to Sunday. Hopefully we'll put the brakes on there and stay in the 80s.
We'll see what happens.
Jason Hurst joins us now. Jason, it's decision time for a local football standout. He makes his college choice.
Yeah, it came down to Auburn, FSU, and big football, high school football. Who says it's ever too early to talk football?
Never, not here.
Big news around the area.
There you go. Thanks, Jason. Still to come, sunshine, blue skies, please go away.
What? We do have a contest. It's going to be having you wish it was raining. We'll tell you how you can cash in a moment.
Finally tonight, WCTV wants to help you stay dry on rainy days with a free umbrella giveaway.
Today's lucky recipient was Connie Cook from Lamont, Florida. She was happy to see our own Brittany DuBose deliver her new umbrella.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Alcock.
And I'm Julie Montanaro. CBS Evening News next. A Tallahassee man in jail now for a recent murder was not prosecuted in a previous grand theft. Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Montanaro.
And I'm Andy Alcock. 24-year-old Tyrone Guinea Jr. was charged with stealing a woman's truck and thousands of dollars of equipment last year. Only at 6, the woman speaks out about the decision not to prosecute Guinea in that case. FCAT testing is resumed in Florida schools after a computer glitch forced some schools to halt testing yesterday. There's a new scam warning tonight. Tallahassee police found this form on the internet. Looks official. There are seals from both the United States District Court and the U.S. Department of State claiming there's an arrest warrant for the email recipient. The email demands an immediate reply. Investigators say it's a new, sophisticated method of identity theft.
In an ever-changing world of digital, we're able to copy and paste things and take them from one spot and put them into another spot. So what we're trying to make people aware of is, please, anytime you get anything in your email that doesn't seem to make sense, please contact local law enforcement.
The Tallahassee Police Department investigates these types of cases with its financial crimes unit. That unit has 4 full-time officers. An ethics reform bill ready for a full vote from Florida's legislature is being pulled. Still to come, FSU is looking for a new permanent leader. And later in sports, it's signing day. We'll check on some of our local scholar athletes to see what the future holds for them. Mike McCall joins us now. And Mike, the sun is shining again. So far, so good this week. It's been pretty nice.
Yeah, it's been great.
And ever since we had that cloudy, drizzly, cold weekend, which I still remember quite well, looks good for FSU baseball. Looks good for the Rose Parade Friday.
And my friends from Chicago are going to love it.
There you go. Jason Hurst joins us now. Jason, a great day for baseball today.
That's right, Noel's taking on Stetson. We'll get you all caught up when we return.
Yeah, a very unfortunate situation. I regret the incident. There are 2 sides to every story, and I look forward to sharing those details and being transparent, and I will be accountable for my action.
State Representative Dane Eagle was at work on the House floor on Tuesday. The 30-year-old from Cape Coral is in his first term after serving as the youngest chief of staff to a Florida governor in history for Charlie Crist. Early Monday morning, a Tallahassee police report says Eagle was driving a black SUV when he left the Taco Bell on West Tennessee Street. The report says Eagle nearly tried to make a left-hand turn across the concrete median, later veered off the road and hit a curb, and then ran a red light. The report also says after the officer pulled Eagle over in this parking lot, he smelled of alcohol and his eyes were bloodshot, watery, and glassy. Here's his mugshot. The report also says Eagle denied he was drinking, refused a field sobriety test, and refused a breath test. The arrest comes as this year's session is winding down.
We've got 2 weeks left to make some very important votes, and I'll be focusing on that. This will not impede my effectiveness here.
Last month, Eagle introduced a bill requiring mandatory drug testing for state lawmakers and other public officials and felt confident it would pass.
I don't think when it's in front of them they would vote it down. I don't know how they could.
Is this maybe just a little bit hypocritical?
You know, I'm not going to speak to that. Dane's a friend.
State Representative Michelle Raywinkle-Vasalinda also called Eagle's arrest sad and a life-changing event. House Speaker Will Weatherford calls the arrest an unfortunate situation. As for Eagle's mandatory drug testing proposal, it's made no progress in House committees and is likely to go nowhere this session. It happened here at this apartment complex on Mission Road. Police say Tyrone Guinea punched and pistol-whipped 29-year-old George Brewster, who later died. Guinea is charged with murder. Court records show it's far from his first run-in with the law.
Come home, find out my truck's stolen.
Ursula Staten was living at this home in South Tallahassee. Court records say Jeffrey Phillips presented a fake bill of sale to a tow truck operator. That operator says Guinea was with Phillips. Both men were charged with stealing the truck and thousands of dollars of Staten's tools she used in her home repair business. Phillips pled guilty and was given 5 years probation. Assistant State Attorney Aaron Kazort decided not to prosecute Guinea, even though he was seen with the stolen tools twice.
She wasn't very welcoming or understanding of the fact that my whole business had been stolen, not just a vehicle, but my business.
I think most crime victims feel like, they'd like the death penalty.
State Attorney Willie Meggs says Guinea's denial of knowing the truck and tools were stolen was enough not to prosecute. However, Staten's attorney, Stephen Webster, says Florida law puts the burden on defendants caught with stolen property to prove they didn't know it was stolen.
That was my position.
If this guy had been prosecuted, maybe maybe this murder that he's accused of committing doesn't happen, perhaps, right?
Theoretically, yes.
However, Meggs says most grand theft cases do not result in prison time. He says even if Guinea had been successfully prosecuted in the truck case, despite a criminal history including a weapons probation violation, Guinea likely would have been given probation. A top state lawmaker's call for an investigation into residency requirements for elected leaders now includes a Tallahassee lawmaker. Senator Jack Latvala told us he's forwarding information he obtained about State Representative Alan Williams to House Speaker Will Weatherford. We started looking at this issue last week. It's a tale of two homes. Records show State Representative Alan Williams owns this home on Stony Creek Way in Tallahassee's Buck Lake area, a home he admits is not in his 8th House District. Records also show Williams is part owner with 2 relatives of this home on Olive Avenue in his district.
Can you tell me where you live? Which one of these places do you live? I mean, it's a simple question. Where do you sleep at night?
Well, I tell you, it's hard to sleep when you're fighting for a district 8.
Should someone who represents a district actually live in that district, in your opinion?
Well, I believe that, again, as we look at the intent of whether members are duly qualified, you have to look at, are they vested in the community?
The state constitution requires lawmakers to reside in areas they represent. But Leon County Election Supervisor Ian Sancho says there's another problem.
Unfortunately, the Florida legislature has decided not to define residency.
Records show Williams is getting a $50,000 property homestead tax exemption given for a primary residence for his Buck Lake home.
This says this is your primary residence. Is that not accurate?
Well, again, Andy, like I said, I've met the intent of the House rule to make sure that one is duly qualified to be seated in the House of Representatives.
Williams says that House rule is you need to be a registered voter in your district. County documents show he is.
I understand that there's a political back and forth by Senator Jack Latvala. I have a home in District 8, and I have a home that's here in Tallahassee.
But you live in one of those, right? I mean,
I live in both.
You live in both, so you split time between the two.
I live in both. I've spent time in both homes.
Williams told us he'll wait to hear from Speaker Weatherford about the issue. He also tells us his Buck Lake home was included in his district until the map was redrawn. Williams ran unopposed for re-election last year after the redrawn map removed his Buck Lake home from his district.